With this clip, 0808014. What if the most iconic police car in comedy history was built on lies, destroyed by the dozens, and hated by its own driver? What if Jackie Gleason refused to get inside until producers paid him more money? What if the studio bought every single Dodge Monaco in Georgia just to wreck them? This isn't just Sheriff Buford T. Justice's patrol car. It's a machine built on studio desperation, mechanical failure, and one actor's contempt for everything on four wheels. Number 20. Universal Studios bought 62 Dodge Monacos because Chrysler refused to provide any cars for free.
Okay, I'll think one up for you. Just a minute here. Let's see. Oh, I got one for you. What?
Here's something that'll blow your mind. Unlike the original Smokey and the Bandit, where Pontiac eagerly supplied Trans Ams for free product placement, Chrysler Corporation completely refused to participate in the sequel's production. Universal Pictures approached Chrysler in late 1979, requesting complimentary Dodge Monaco police packages for filming, emphasizing the massive publicity value from the first film's success. Chrysler's marketing department reviewed the request and rejected it, arguing that portraying their vehicles as incompetent police cars, driven by a buffoonish sheriff, damaged brand perception rather than enhanced it. Chrysler executives specifically cited Jackie Gleason's portrayal of Sheriff Justice as making law enforcement look foolish, and worried that association with slapstick comedy undermined their pitch to actual police departments for fleet sales. Universal's production manager, Bill Norton, responded by purchasing 62 used Dodge Monacos from police auctions and used car lots across Georgia, Florida, and Alabama at an average cost of $2,300 each. The studio spent approximately $142,000 acquiring vehicles that Chrysler could have provided free, creating animosity that persisted throughout production. Chrysler later regretted this decision when the film grossed over $66 million despite terrible reviews. Number 19. Jackie Gleason hated the Monaco so intensely he refused to film inside it for 3 days.
Hey, you big piece of turkey dump! Let me tell you something, Junior. If you ever embarrass me like that again, I'm going to get an axe, and you'll never...
Moving on to star tantrums. Jackie Gleason arrived at the Georgia production location in April 1980 and immediately declared the Dodge Monaco a piece of shit unfit for driving after sitting in the driver's seat for approximately 30 seconds. Gleason, who owned a collection of luxury vehicles, including multiple Rolls-Royces and Mercedes-Benzes, found the Monaco's vinyl bench seat, lack of air conditioning, and crude interior finishing personally offensive. He walked off set and returned to his hotel, informing director Hal Needham that he wouldn't film any scenes inside the Monaco until the studio made the car tolerable for human occupancy. Needham, facing immediate production delays, ordered the prop department to retrofit Gleason's primary Monaco with a custom leather seat, portable air conditioning unit, upgraded sound insulation, and a premium stereo system at a cost of $8,000. These modifications violated the car's authentic police vehicle appearance, forcing camera operators to shoot interior scenes from specific angles that hid the luxury upgrades. Gleason remained unsatisfied even after modifications, complaining constantly about engine noise, suspension harshness, and exhaust fumes that infiltrated the cabin. He ultimately performed approximately 40% of his driving scenes from a Monaco mounted on a flatbed trailer, similar to techniques used in the first film. Number 18. The Monacos used Chrysler's infamous lean burn engine system that failed constantly during filming.
Now, you boys just stay here and watch the car. There might be some vandals around who want to steal something. So you boys...
And get this about mechanical disasters. The 1979 Dodge Monaco came equipped with Chrysler's notorious lean burn electronic ignition system, one of the earliest computerized engine management systems and arguably the most unreliable automotive technology of the 1970s. The lean burn system used primitive computer modules to optimize fuel-air mixture, but these modules failed catastrophically in hot weather conditions, exactly like those encountered during Georgia summer filming. Production logs document 137 separate engine failures across the 62 Monacos during the 4-month shoot, with breakdowns occurring mid-scene so frequently that Needham stationed backup Monacos just off-camera for every driving sequence. The lean burn modules overheated in Georgia's 90-plus degree temperatures, causing engines to stall, misfire, or refuse to start entirely. Universal's mechanics replaced failed modules repeatedly, eventually sourcing used units from the junkyards nationwide because Chrysler dealers couldn't supply enough replacement parts. Several Monacos became so unreliable that they were relegated exclusively to static background roles, unable to move under their own power. Stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker later called the Monacos the worst stunt vehicles I worked with in 40 years, explaining that unpredictable engine failures created genuine safety hazards during high-speed chase sequences. Number 17, 41. Of the 62, Monacos were completely destroyed during production. But here's where destruction reached epic levels. Universal Studios destroyed 41 of the 62 purchased Monacos during filming, making Smokey and the Bandit 2 one of the most vehicle-destructive comedies ever produced. The film's script called for numerous police car crashes, collisions, and stunts that annihilated Monacos at an average rate of 2.5 per week throughout the 16-week shooting schedule. Major destruction sequences included the opening bridge jump that totaled 7 Monacos when stunt drivers overshot landing zones, a highway pileup that wrecked 9 vehicles simultaneously, and various individual crashes throughout chase sequences. Unlike action films where destroyed vehicles serve dramatic purposes, these Monacos died for comedy, making their sacrifice seem almost wasteful. Production accountants calculated that vehicle destruction consumed approximately 23% of the film's total budget, a shockingly high percentage for a comedy rather than an action spectacular. Stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker implemented a protocol where any Monaco suffering frame damage, suspension failure, or engine destruction would be immediately stripped for parts, then scrapped rather than repaired. By production's end, only 21 Monacos remained operational, with another 14 reduced to parts donors. The remaining 7 existed as burned-out hulks destined for junkyards. Number 16. The production hired actual Georgia police officers as technical advisors, and they hated everything.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law. This...
Moving on to law enforcement rage, Universal hired 3 active Georgia State Patrol officers as technical advisors to ensure police procedure, accuracy, and vehicle handling realism. These officers, accustomed to professional law enforcement portrayals, became increasingly horrified as they watched director Hal Needham deliberately make Sheriff Justice and his deputies look incompetent. Technical advisor Sergeant Raymond Parker submitted daily notes criticizing pursuit tactics, vehicle positioning, and radio procedure shown in the script, all of which Needham ignored because accuracy undermined comedy. Parker specifically objected to scenes showing Justice's Monaco performing impossible maneuvers, arguing it gave civilians unrealistic expectations about police vehicle capabilities. The technical advisor's relationship with production deteriorated completely during filming of a sequence where multiple Monacos crash into each other through driver incompetence. Parker confronted Needham, arguing the scene portrayed law enforcement as dangerously stupid and would damage public perception of actual police officers. Needham responded that the film was a comedy, not a documentary, and accuracy mattered less than laughs. All 3 technical advisors quit within 6 weeks, with Parker later telling a local newspaper that Smokey and the Bandit 2 set back professional law enforcement portrayals by 20 years. Georgia State Patrol officially distanced themselves from the production, though this didn't prevent the film's commercial success. Number 15. The film's Monaco crashes caused 3 actual accidents with civilian vehicles during location shooting. Speaking of real-world consequences, guerrilla-style location filming resulted in 3 documented accidents between stunt Monacos and uninvolved civilian vehicles. The first incident occurred during filming on Georgia Route 85 near Jonesboro, when a Monaco stunt driver executing a high-speed pursuit scene lost control and sideswiped a civilian pickup truck, whose driver hadn't received a warning about active filming. The pickup sustained approximately $3,000 in damage, which Universal quietly settled within 48 hours to avoid publicity. The second accident happened when a Monaco performing a J-turn maneuver on a supposedly closed road section collided with a local resident's sedan that had bypassed inadequate road closure barriers. The civilian driver suffered minor whiplash injuries and received an undisclosed settlement plus hospital expenses. The third incident occurred during filming of a chase through a small town when a Monaco driven by stunt driver Gary Baxley struck a parked vehicle after brake failure, pushing it into a storefront window. Universal paid for all damages, including building repairs, vehicle replacement, and lost business income totaling approximately $18,000. Production adopted stricter safety protocols after the third accident, though these incidents reveal how chaotic and dangerous location filming could become when studios prioritize speed over comprehensive safety measures. Number 14. The Monaco's famous roof-mounted spotlight actually prevented drivers from seeing properly during night shoots.
Hi, Carrie.
Shut up, you shit. You barrel of monkey nuts.
But here's the kicker about dangerous design. The Dodge Monaco's traditional roof-mounted spotlight, essential for an authentic police car appearance, created serious visibility problems during night filming sequences. The spotlight's mounting position placed it directly in the driver's forward sightline, and its large chrome housing blocked approximately 15% of the windshield's viewing area. During daylight scenes, this obstruction merely annoyed drivers, but during night shoots, the spotlight's chrome surface reflected oncoming headlights and film set, lighting directly into drivers' eyes, creating dangerous glare. Stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker reported multiple near misses during night filming when drivers lost sight of road edges or obstacles due to spotlight reflections. Production considered removing spotlights from stunt vehicles, but worried this would compromise the Monaco's recognizable police car silhouette. The compromise solution involved painting spotlight housings flat black to reduce reflections, though this created continuity problems when black housing Monacos appeared in scenes alongside chrome housing ones. Several stunt drivers requested hazard pay for night driving scenes, arguing the spotlight visibility obstruction created unreasonable risks. Director Hal Needham ultimately scheduled most Monaco chase sequences during daylight hours, though several night scenes remain in the final film where careful viewers can notice drivers struggling with visibility issues. Number 13. Universal couldn't find 62 identical Monacos, so they painted other models to match. Moving on to production shortcuts. Despite purchasing 62 Dodge Monacos supposedly, Universal's prop department actually used at least 15 other Chrysler vehicles, disguised as Monacos, through clever painting and modification. Finding 62 identical 1979 Monacos proved impossible because police departments typically mixed vehicle models within their fleets, and used car lots rarely stocked specific models in quantity. Production purchased 1978 Dodge Monacos, 1979 Dodge St. Regis sedans, and several Plymouth Grand Furies, then modified them cosmetically to resemble the Monaco police package. These conversions involved changing grills, adding Monaco badges, and applying identical paint schemes that concealed model differences from most camera angles. However, the different vehicles had noticeably distinct body proportions, with the St. Regis measuring 3 inches longer and the Grand Fury sitting 1 inch lower than genuine Monacos. Continuity errors throughout the film show Sheriff Justice's patrol car mysteriously changing dimensions between shots, with sharp-eyed viewers spotting different taillights, hood lengths, and door handles, depending on which Monaco appears in frame. The production kept this deception quiet until home video releases in the 1980s allowed frame-by-frame analysis, revealing the multiple model substitutions that theatrical audiences never noticed. Number 12, Jackie Gleason's personal driver had to follow the Monaco convoy in a Mercedes because Gleason refused to ride between locations.
Daddy, the top came off.
No shit.
And get this about star privilege. Jackie Gleason's contract for Smokey and the Bandit 2 included a clause requiring Universal to provide his personal chauffeur and Mercedes-Benz sedan at all Georgia filming locations. Gleason absolutely refused to travel between shooting locations inside the Dodge Monaco, despite it being his character's signature vehicle. His personal driver followed the production convoy in Gleason's Mercedes S-Class, and between each take, Gleason would exit the Monaco and retreat to the Mercedes' air-conditioned leather interior. Production assistants timed these transitions at an average of 45 seconds each way, meaning Gleason wasted approximately 90 seconds per take simply moving between vehicles. Over the production's 16 weeks, these transitions consumed an estimated 78 hours of production time, costing Universal approximately $117,000 in wasted crew wages and equipment rental. Director Hal Needham initially pushed back against this arrangement, arguing it slowed production unnecessarily, but Gleason's contract guaranteed the accommodation and threatened work stoppage if Universal violated terms. Other cast members found this behavior absurdly entitled, with several making jokes about Gleason's anti-Monaco prejudice. Stunt drivers particularly resented Gleason's attitude since they spent entire days inside the same Monacos that Gleason found intolerable for minutes at a time. Number 11. The film's bridge jump destroyed 7 Monacos because stunt drivers kept overshooting. The landing ramp. But here's where expensive mistakes multiplied. The famous bridge jump sequence, where multiple police Monacos launch off a destroyed bridge section, required 7 separate attempts using 7 different vehicles because stunt drivers consistently miscalculated landing trajectories. The production built a landing ramp positioned to catch vehicles jumping at precisely 53 miles per hour. But achieving this exact speed proved nearly impossible given the Monacos' unreliable engines and varied mechanical conditions. The first attempt saw the Monaco traveling at 61 miles per hour, overshooting the ramp entirely and landing nose first in a drainage ditch, completely destroying the vehicle and sending the driver to the hospital with severe bruising. Attempts 2 through 5 resulted in similar overshoots with varying degrees of destruction, while attempt 6 undersped at 47 miles per hour, hitting the ramp's leading edge and flipping end over end. Finally, attempt 7 achieved a near-perfect 54 mile per hour speed, landing successfully but destroying the Monaco's suspension and frame rails on impact. Director Hal Needham used footage from multiple attempts edited together, creating the illusion of numerous police cars making identical jumps, when actually only one landed successfully. The 7 destroyed Monacos cost Universal approximately $19,000, including purchase prices and stunt driver medical expenses. Number 10. Dodge Monaco production. Ended in 1978, making the 1979 models actually. Holdover 1978's.
Did you see that? They went right through our roadblock.
You some bitches couldn't close an umbrella.
You all right? Yeah.
Moving on to automotive technicalities. The vehicles identified as 1979 Dodge Monacos and Smokey and the Bandit the school race. were technically final year 1978 models that Chrysler continued selling into early 1979 to clear inventory. Chrysler discontinued the Monaco nameplate after model year 1978, replacing it with the St. Regis for 1979 production. However, Chrysler dealers retained significant unsold 1978 Monaco inventory that they sold throughout calendar year 1979, with updated VIN registrations showing 1979 dates. Police departments purchasing these holdover models receive significant discounts, typically 20 to 30% below list price, because Chrysler desperately wanted to clear obsolete inventory before introducing completely redesigned 1980 models. When Universal purchased Monacos for filming in late 1979 and early 1980, they acquired these holdover vehicles that paperwork listed as 1979 models, despite being mechanically identical to 1978 specifications. This created a confusing situation where the film prominently features 1979 Monacos that technically don't exist as distinct models. Automotive historians and Mopar enthusiasts regularly debate whether Smokey and the Bandit 2 actually shows 1978 or 1979 vehicles, though the distinction matters little outside pedantic collector circles. Number 9. The Monaco's weak transmission couldn't handle stunt driving and required 43 replacements during filming. And speaking of mechanical failures, the Dodge Monaco's Torque Flight A727 automatic transmission proved catastrophically inadequate for high-speed stunt driving, requiring 43 separate transmission replacements across the fleet during production. The A727 transmission, while adequate for normal police patrol duty involving moderate speeds and gentle acceleration, couldn't survive the violent downshifts, neutral drops, and sustained high RPM operation that stunt sequences demanded. Transmission failures typically occurred after approximately 3 to 4 hours of hard stunt driving, presenting symptoms including slipping gears, delayed engagement, and complete loss of forward motion. Universal's mechanics established a dedicated transmission rebuild station at the production's Georgia base, working around the clock to keep vehicles operational. Each transmission replacement required approximately 6 hours of labor, with mechanics pulling failed units, sourcing replacements from parts donors, and reinstalling them while production waited. The studio spent approximately $68,000 on transmission parts and labor alone, representing a substantial portion of the vehicle maintenance budget. Stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker implemented protocols requiring transmission fluid and filter changes every 50 miles of stunt driving, far exceeding manufacturer recommendations. But even aggressive maintenance couldn't prevent failures under extreme operating conditions that exceeded the transmission's original engineering parameters. Number 8. Sheriff Justice's famous CB radio. Rants were improvised because Jackie Gleason refused to memorize scripted lines.
Welcome waiting for you when I get you back home, you some bitch. Don't you cuss on this here radio. Hello, you handsome some bitch.
Hi, Junior.
Hi, Carrie.
Shut up, you shit.
But here's the kicker about comedic genius. Many of Sheriff Buford T. Justice's most memorable CB radio rants in Smokey and the Bandit 2 came from Jackie Gleason's improvisations, rather than screenwriter Jerry Belson's dialogue. Gleason arrived at production with what director Hal Needham called professional contempt for the sequel script, believing it inferior to the original film. Rather than memorize dialogue he considered weak, Gleason simply read scenes once, grasped the general intent, then improvised variations during filming. His CB radio scenes provided particular freedom because the character sat alone in the Monaco with no other actors to throw off through improvisation. Gleason delivered entirely different rants on multiple takes, with Needham shooting 6 to 8 variations of each CB scene, then selecting the funniest during editing. Some of Gleason's most creative insults and colorful descriptions of other characters came spontaneously, including his famous description of the Bandit as a scum-sucking pig wearing a stupid cowboy hat. The production script supervisor stopped trying to mark continuity notes on Gleason's dialogue after the second week, recognizing that Gleason would never repeat himself exactly. This improvisational approach created comedy gold, but made editing complex, as Needham had to construct scenes from dialogue fragments that didn't necessarily flow together as scripted. Number 7. The production lost 6 Monacos to theft during overnight parking at Georgia locations.
Texas.
Moving on to unsolved mysteries. Between April and August 1980, 6 of Universal's Dodge Monacos vanished from supposedly secured overnight parking locations across Georgia filming sites. The thefts occurred despite production hiring local security companies to guard vehicle staging areas overnight. The first Monaco disappeared from a fenced lot in Jonesboro, with security cameras revealing 3 individuals arriving in a pickup truck at 2:15 a.m., cutting the chain-link fence, then driving the Monaco away within 6 minutes. 4 additional Monacos vanished from different locations over the next 10 weeks, with similar patterns suggesting professional thieves targeting the production's fleet. The 6th theft involved particularly strange circumstances where a Monaco disappeared from inside a locked barn on private property with no evidence of forced entry, and the property owner denying any knowledge of how thieves accessed the building. Georgia law enforcement investigated but recovered none of the stolen vehicles, theorizing that thieves either parted them out immediately or altered VINs for resale outside Georgia. Universal's insurance covered the losses at a replacement value of approximately $4,000 per vehicle, though the thefts created production delays when specific vehicles needed for scheduled shoots had vanished overnight. Several production members suspected inside help from crew or security staff, but investigations produced no evidence supporting these theories. Number 6. The Monaco's poor handling characteristics made it genuinely dangerous for high-speed pursuit. Filming and get this about safety nightmares. The 1979 Dodge Monaco featured obsolete suspension technology and terrible handling characteristics that made high-speed filming genuinely hazardous for stunt drivers. The Monaco used a traditional body-on-frame construction with soft suspension, tuning intended for comfortable cruising rather than aggressive cornering. When pushed to pursuit speeds exceeding 70 miles per hour, the Monaco exhibited severe body roll, vague steering response, and unpredictable weight transfer that stunt drivers described as terrifying. Professional stunt driver Terry Leonard, who performed multiple Monaco stunts for the film, called it one of the scariest vehicles I've driven professionally because you never knew how it would react when you pushed hard. The Monaco's power steering suffered from excessive play and a lack of feedback, requiring constant corrections during high-speed driving. Its antiquated front torsion bar suspension and rear leaf springs created a floaty ride quality that became dangerous when cornering at speed. Several stunt drivers refused to drive Monacos faster than 60 miles per hour, forcing production to use camera tricks and editing to create illusions of higher speeds. Buddy Joe Hooker implemented mandatory roll cage installation in all Monacos used for jumps or high-speed crashes after one stunt driver suffered minor injuries when a Monaco rolled unexpectedly during a skid pad sequence. Number 5, Chrysler initially threatened legal action over the film's negative Monaco portrayal before quietly dropping the complaint. But here's where corporate sensitivity emerged. In September 1980, shortly after Smokey and the Bandit the 2's theatrical release, Chrysler Corporation's legal department sent Universal Pictures a formal complaint, alleging that the film's portrayal of Dodge Monacos as incompetent, unreliable police vehicles constituted product disparagement that harmed Chrysler's business relationships with law enforcement agencies. The letter specifically cited scenes showing Monacos crashing through incompetence, breaking down during pursuits, and being described negatively by characters. Chrysler's lawyers argued these portrayals violated implied agreements against brand damage and requested Universal edit or remove offensive scenes from future releases. Universal's legal team responded that the First Amendment protected artistic expression and comedy, and that Chrysler's refusal to provide vehicles for filming eliminated any contractual obligations. The studio further argued that Sheriff Justice's incompetence, not Monaco's inadequacy, caused crashes, making character criticism rather than product criticism. Chrysler escalated by threatening to bar Universal from using any Chrysler products in future productions, a hollow threat given that studios typically purchased vehicles independently. After approximately 6 weeks of legal posturing, Chrysler quietly dropped the complaint without explanation. Industry insiders speculated that Chrysler's marketing research showed the film actually increased Monaco name recognition positively, making the lawsuit counterproductive. Number 4. Only 3 of the original Monacos still exist and all are in private collections, worth over $100,000. Each moving on to survivor value. Of the 62 Dodge Monacos Universal purchased for Smokey and the Bandit 2, only 3 verifiable survivors exist today, all in private collections valued at over $100,000 each, despite being mechanically obsolete 30-year-old police sedans. The first confirmed survivor, a Monaco used primarily for static scenes without stunt damage, belongs to a Florida collector who purchased it at a Universal Studios prop auction in 1983 for $3,200. That same car was appraised at $135,000 in 2022 due to its film provenance and excellent preservation condition. The second survivor, a Monaco featuring moderate stunt damage from non-destructive chase scenes, resides in a Tennessee movie car museum after changing hands 6 times since 1985. The third confirmed survivor spent 20 years in a Georgia barn before being discovered and authenticated through production numbers matching Universal's original vehicle records. These 3 Monacos represent less than a 5% survival rate from the original fleet, making them genuinely rare artifacts. Dozens of imposter Monacos appear at car shows and auctions, with owners claiming false connections to the film, but only these 3 have authenticated production documentation. Collector demand remains strong despite Monaco's generally poor reputation among automotive enthusiasts, proving that film fame transcends mechanical merit. Number 3. The Monaco's 5.2-liter V8 engine produced less horsepower than a modern Honda. Civic Speaking of disappointing performance, the 1979 Dodge Monaco's standard engine, a 318 cubic inch, 5.2-liter V8, produced only 135 horsepower at 4,000 RPM, significantly less than a modern Honda Civic's 158 to 180 horsepower from a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Late 1970s emissions regulations strangled engine performance through restrictive catalytic converters, severely retarded ignition timing, and lean fuel-air mixtures that prioritized emissions compliance over power output. The Monaco's V8 featured massive displacement but anemic output, requiring 8 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour. Pathetic performance for a supposedly high-performance police interceptor. Chrysler offered an optional 360 cubic inch, 5.9-liter V8 producing 195 horsepower, marginally better but still weak by historical standards. For comparison, 1970, Monaco police packages produced approximately 290 horsepower from similar displacement engines before emissions regulations devastated output. Stunt drivers complained constantly about the Monaco's inadequate acceleration, making chase sequences difficult to film convincingly. Many dramatic acceleration scenes required camera undercranking, filming at slower speeds than playing back faster, to create illusions of power that the actual engines couldn't deliver. The Monaco's dismal performance epitomized the American automotive industry's struggles during the malaise era, when regulations outpaced engineering capabilities. Number 2, Jackie Gleason's contract. Guaranteed he'd never drive the Monaco faster than 35 miles per hour.
This is Sheriff Buford details to us again. I lost that Trans Am. Set up a roadblock.
Good idea.
Brother.
But here's the kicker about contractual protection. Jackie Gleason's agreement for Smokey and the Bandit 2 included specific language limiting his personal driving of the Dodge Monaco to maximum speeds of 35 miles per hour, with all higher speed driving performed by stunt doubles or filmed using process photography. Gleason, 64 years old during production, had legitimate concerns about reflexes and the ability to control vehicles safely at high speeds. His insurance carriers additionally required speed limitations to maintain coverage, threatening policy cancellation if Gleason performed dangerous driving stunts. Every shot showing Sheriff Justice driving faster than 35 miles per hour actually features stunt driver Terry Leonard wearing Gleason's costume and makeup, filmed from angles hiding facial features. For close-up high-speed driving scenes, production mounted the Monaco on a flatbed trailer and towed it, while Gleason sat in the driver's seat, pantomiming steering, a technique used extensively throughout the film. Director Hal Needham became an expert at cutting between actual driving footage of Leonard and static close-ups of Gleason to maintain the illusion of a continuous performance. This technique appears in approximately 75% of Monaco's action sequences, though most viewers never notice because editing seamlessly blends real and simulated driving. The production paid Leonard an additional $48,000 for doubling services, nearly 15% of his total stunt coordinator salary. Number 1. The film's commercial failure killed the Smokey franchise and made the Monaco, forever associated with disappointing sequels.
Westbound down, 18 wheels rolling. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We got it long.
I saw that, you son of a bitch! You did that on purpose! You're gonna wait till you agree!
And the number 1 weirdest fact. Despite grossing $66 million domestically, Smokey and the Bandit 2 was considered a commercial disappointment that killed the franchise's momentum and forever branded the Dodge Monaco as the sequel failure car. The original Smokey and the Bandit earned $126 million in 1977 on a $4.3 million budget, becoming the second highest grossing film of that year. The sequel cost $17 million to produce, but earned roughly half the original's gross, despite heavy marketing and returning cast. Universal had planned Smokey and the Bandit the Third before the sequel even released, confident in continued success, but the disappointing reception caused immediate franchise reevaluation. Critics savaged the sequel's repetitive plot, absence of originality, and reliance on destruction over story. The Monaco became symbolic of this creative bankruptcy, representing lazy sequel-making that simply repeated the original's formula without innovation. When Universal proceeded with Smokey and the Bandit Part 3 in 1983, they replaced most cast members, including Burt Reynolds, and minimized the Monaco's presence, tacitly acknowledging the sequel's failures. The franchise died definitively after the third film bombed spectacularly. Today, automotive enthusiasts view the Monaco as cinema's ultimate downgrade car, forever contrasted negatively against the original's iconic Pontiac Trans Am. 20 weird facts proving the 1979 Dodge Monaco's journey from police fleet reject to sequel disappointment involved more dysfunction than anyone expected. Which fact shocked you most? Drop your thoughts below. Smash that like button, subscribe for more automotive cinema, deep dives, and keep on trucking.